Hey everyone, this is Genesis here, and I'm here to talk about Dissension, the new mission I am doing, and kind of explaining a couple questions I've got. I've got just a few questions about AI intelligence and how I go about doing that, because it is a very complicated thing, and I think it's even a little bit of a buzzword when you talk about it. I don't know, it just seems like this high and mighty thing. It's really not that complicated. I mean, it can be complicated. Don't get me wrong. I'm not coding basic. Like I'm not doing any real coding. Else I'm just modding and using what's already there, the engine, to my will. So I'm more just kind of molding. So in ArmA, it's really not that complicated. If you don't really have anyone to help you kind of learn it, at least I should say, maybe it's a little bit more complicated to kind of pick up the terms and understand it. So I'm going to tell you what I am using for the AI commanders. This is the same thing I use for VCOM. This is the same thing I use for my degeneration mod, which I'll also show you that FSM. And I just use the word FSM. So FSM stands for Finite State Machine, and that means, well, I can't even tell you what it means. I don't know, but I can tell you it's one of the many ways to code AI. If you really want to get more in depth about AI stuff, I would definitely go to YouTube and Google. There's some really good, fun videos to watch about kind of where AIs come from. Like you got your basic Mario AI, which go left to right, move left to right, move left to right, or target player, follow player, and you have your more complicated game AI, which we're going to talk about later. And there's many different ways. Finite state machine is one of the ways that I know ArmA uses to kind of program AI and to give the appearance of some form of intelligence, even if that form of intelligence does not care about its life whatsoever. Okay, so what a finite state machine is, and we're going to go ahead and, I think this is better if I just pull up their example, Bohemian's example here. So a finite state machine is essentially this here. It is a flowchart of possible actions and outcomes. So you have state 1, 2, and 3. And in each state you have an action that happens when you reach that state. A, B, and C. And X and Y. And you know what? I wonder let's see if I can just get real crazy here. I don't even know if this is possible. But we're gonna find out. I'm gonna get just all sorts of fancy here. Because sometimes I just want to draw on the screen. And I cannot. I guess I can just draw on this. Neat. So you have finite state machine, which is this kind of just flowchart, and I'm going to show you more complicated ones in a minute here, but I'm going to go through this really quick, not to bore everyone. So pretty much the way I'm going to tell you how I think about things. This is not like the official, since I picked this up as a hobby. I didn't take any classes. I don't know any fancy words. I just kind of do this and learn as I go, and I kind of form it up in my brain. So for people who actually know these words and know all the right ways to do this, I apologize ahead of time, but this is how I learned, and that's how I'm going to explain it. So, and I don't feel sorry for that. So finite state machines, the way I got is, imagine there's a little like dude running around in here, and it starts here. And this little dude, what he does is he looks at state 1. And say he's here. He looks at state 1, he looks at action A. He executes, since he's already in this circle, he executes whatever is action A tells him to do. Say for AI, this will be move to grid, whatever, lay down, or whatever action you damn well please. And then once he executes this action, he goes, okay, I need to look at where I need to go next. And he looks out this way. And he goes, okay, I see 2 conditions here that I need to consider. And this one up here has a weight or a priority of, let's say, 100. And this one has a priority of 90. So he looks at the one with 100 is greater than 90, so he looks at the one with 100 first. And he goes, okay, for me to go down this path, we'll say car, oh wow, this is just the best. Car needs to equal to true. And for me to go down path 90, we'll say bus. Oh yeah, look at that B. Needs to equal true. Okay. So he looks at 100 first, and we're just going to pretend that car is false. He goes, well, I want to go down this path first, but car is false, my road is blocked, so now I'm going to go down and look at path Y, or B here, or condition Y. And for me to go down this path, bus needs to equal true. And then he looks, and whatever variable list he needs to look at on Magic Land over here, and he goes, oh wow, look at that. Bus is equal true, so now I can go down this path. And he dances down this path, and he arrives in state 3 now, and then he proceeds to go, and this is him, he's all happy to be here. And he goes, sweet, Now I'm going to execute whatever code is in action C. And he executes that code, which makes the AI do a jump and a dance and a ooh wow, and then he goes, cool, now where do I need to go? Well, this example, he's stuck. That's the end of his trail. There's no more arrows coming out here or anything. And that's very briefly what FSMs are, how I understand them. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more of a complex one here. Does this lead? Wow, that's kind of cool. So a more complex one is going to be one they have down here. It's like something like this. Now this is a little bit more of a complex FSM here, and even this isn't actually terribly complex at all. This is kind of how the ArmA AI works. You can kind of see, say there's a target acquired here. So say the AI dude starts here, plop, and he's in this train of thought. Okay, I have a target in sight. Now I need to do a check. Here's priority 2. This is a higher priority. Priority 1 does not mean it goes first. It's whatever the highest number is, that's priority. So priority 2, am I out of ammo? And this is nice spelling, by the way. Am I out of ammo? No, I am not. So therefore, let's check our other priorities. Here's priority 1. If I can shoot and burst and my magazine count is greater than 2, then we'll go down this way. Oh, wait a second. I can't. I have only 1 bullet left. Man, let's go to priority 0, which is always true. It just means that, this is my last resort. I checked 2, I checked 1. I can't do either. So we're going to fire a single shot. So we'll fire a single shot. And cool, he arrives here now. So he executes the action, which is fire single shots. So he shoots at the target. And say he shoots once. Okay, he goes, well, target's still seen. Shoot again. He shoots again. And then all this FSM would be broken because maybe he sees the target but he has no more ammo. So then what does he do? He shoots blanks, I guess, or nothing at all. But say this is he's got another one. He's got another arrow going from here to here. That's priority 2, and it says reload. Or I'm out of ammo. See, weapon out of ammo. Then you go, cool, I'm out of ammo. So I'm gonna go down to this one to reload, and then I'm gonna come back down here. Oh, actually, sorry, he had to go back up here and then re-enter the target acquired again. So that's really quickly, it's like a giant map for a single traveling dude to understand it. So it just helps him understand what to do and when to do it. So that's how I understand it. And what does an FSM look like to code? Well, it looks a little like something like this. This is what FSM looks like. This is a very small, basic FSM. The one that I'm using for Dissension right now looks like this. Let me go ahead and get this for the full effect. Yep, I'm just going to keep scrolling, and that's not even close to being done. Okay. This is a terrible way to work on FSMs. So Bohemia is really nice, and they created a visual like this. So here's a visual that I'm currently using for Dissension, and it helps. I've divided it into east and west, and you can kind of go through this, and the AI kind of does the same thing. So really quickly, we'll do our basic scenario here. So we're playing, this is a blue 4 commander, so it goes from the start here, which is this red thing, to this condition here, and it checks, well, if your side is equal to the west, then you go this way. If not, you go this way, to the east. So it gets, and then this will set up all the basic variables that the west commander needs, and then it will, this is just, if it's green, that means it's just a true condition, so it just goes automatically if there's nothing else there. And here's the base thought, which it does some basic checks for tickets, territory owned, towns owned, and all this cool jazz. And oh, I don't know why that text is that. Okay. Anyway, and it goes to look at options. Well, look at options is a little interesting one. So this is where the AI gets, this is where it gets interesting. The AI goes, well, let's check for low tickets, and then we'll check for, oh, I'm sorry, let me get the orders right. You can see at the top right here are the priorities. So it checks, so do I need to construct something first? Do we have low tickets, and do we have low materials? That's only 3 I've coded so far. Low materials is just a resource in the game. Construction is for building buildings to help provide new units, new tech, and then low tickets are every unit that spawned and takes a ticket. So that's something to keep in mind. And here's new tickets here. And so say that he goes, wow, we're low on tickets, guys. This is a huge concern, because this goes true. And the way it checks is it's a simple check that goes, how many tickets do we have? Are they less than our ticket threshold? And have we made a decision on this already? if we have not made a decision on this, and our tickets are pretty low, then let's go into need tickets. So our little dude will go hop, 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 and it goes, oh, this is true. I'm going to hop here, and then go here, and this is the action. He's going to execute all this code. So he runs through and executes all this code. He's sprinting through it. Getting real fast, okay? And then he goes, okay, I executed all that code. Now we need to look at the conditions here. So we need tickets. What are the ways to get tickets? Well, can we purchase the tickets? Sure, we can purchase the tickets. Well, cool. We'll just run the code to buy the tickets, and we check to see if we have enough cash. And if so, then we just wait and we start the whole process over again and see, do we need more tickets still? Say now we still need more tickets. Well, now we don't have enough money. We could attack a large town to get more tickets, a medium town, a small town, or a grid point. A grid point are just random resources on the map. Well, attacking a large town would give us the most resources, but we need to have at least 19 units active to be able to handle that. A medium town, we need at least 10 units to handle that. In a small town, I think we could attack a small town without any additional units. And maybe there are no small towns within 1,500 meters, so let's go ahead and just attack a grid point. You can see how this can kind of create some interesting situations. So say there's no towns nearby, so the AI decides to just attack a grid point. The easy accessible thing. It goes, here's all our attack actions. It goes down the trail. It does a couple more checks here, executes some more code, and then it decides, do I need to recruit more units? Or do I already have enough of the army to go ahead and attack it? And depending on each one, we can recruit and then attack, or we can just send units straight up. And once it does that, it jumps back to the beginning, and we start the whole process over again. So that is a very basic view of how the AI works. I do this for a lot of things. So we can do it for almost anything. Construction. Here, do we need to build something? If this is true, then yes, we need to build something. And it runs some checks. The AI then decides what would be best to build based on what we don't have already. And then it builds it and runs back and does a check again. And so you can see I'm gonna have low tickets. I'm gonna have construction. I'm gonna have low materials, low gas, low cash, low, and then I'll have op 4 nearby, supply lines being hit. There's a whole bunch. This is going to have, I won't say hundreds, a lot of conditions that are coming off this. And when you have a lot of conditions running off, FSMs work really well. They're pretty optimized for a lot of conditions if you do them correctly. So you see how I have all these checks in here. That way, as much as you can, you want to move over as much code into these as you can. So once it is done checking, say it checks this, and it's like, cool, we don't have this, let's go. It won't even bother checking the rest of these. It'll just stop. So there can be very efficient ways to check a whole bunch of things at once, which is very cool. I think it's called lazy evaluation. It's really, really cool. So I can have a whole bunch of these around here, and to the point, you can have so many that it looks like it's intelligent. It looks like it's intelligent. But really it's just a bunch of on-off switches. So let's go ahead and hop into the game, and we can see what that kind of looks like in game. And because that is a lot of talking and not a lot of shooting. So we're going to go ahead and press play. I haven't tested this recently, so this whole thing might just blow up. But we're going to go ahead and see what happens. Okay. So right now I'm only working on Blue 4 because I want to get one side working really well, and then I'm going to implement the other side. And that will be kind of my goal. Okay, so here's the Dissension map. You saw this before if you watched my previous video. Here are all the resources. These all get randomly generated. In each town, which I don't think you saw, I don't think it was in the last video, each town gets assigned all 4 resources but a random amount as well. Okay, so what we do, we're using Bohemia's respawn system. We have some kits here that most of these will be locked behind researches, so they will do. You can see we immediately cap a point. Here's Blue 4, here's Op 4, and these points are randomly selected. And I'm going to respawn in as a medic. Okay, so this is kind of a little first look at the game so far. You can see here's our commander sitting in this nice bobcat, just being a boss. And I'm going to go to the commander interface, which is this nice little iPad looking thing that is going to let us know what the commander's thinking. Obviously there's already an error, which is fine. So we can go to the commander and we can see that, yeah, he decided to construct something. We have created a new structure. This barracks will allow us to spawn troops in a better location and unlock new tech options. Go to the map. Hey, there's the barracks. Cool. So it makes sense to build more troops. You need You need a barracks. That took out the money in the bottom right. That's the cost of materials, power, and oil to build that building. Okay. So that's good. Now we just have to wait. Oh, okay. I see some dudes spawn here. So maybe he's attacking something? He hasn't said yet. Okay, they're getting told to move. Oh, there we go. There we go. We have recruited units to further our cause. May they crush our enemies. Their current target location is 092087. Recruitment report. 5 infantry, 0 light vehicles, 0 heavy vehicles, 0 aircraft, 0 ships. Were we able to recruit all requested units? Yes, all units were successfully recruited, and a report. So you can see that he decided to attack location. What location was that? 092087. 092087. Okay, so it looks like he decided to attack Lakatoro here. And then here's our income report. We've just received a new shipment of supplies. Read below for details. Actually, it was nothing because we don't own anything yet. Actually, isn't true. This oil isn't counting for a reason, and I actually think I know why. The income script is broken right now, and that's okay. So you get the point. So here are the 2 squads that the commander recruited. He's sending out, and we'll see. I just want to see if he makes one more decision here. We'll have to kind of see how that works out. Just hear someone. Are we getting ambushed? These friendlies? Those are friendlies. Nope, I'm just hearing things. So you can see they're on their way over to take that town. Okay. So I'm going to go and turn on my cheating teleporting here. I'm going to kind of show you some combat. This is also a little bit of a VCOM show off because I kind of changed them up a little bit. And we're going to see how they work. So they're heading to this town. I'm just going to help them get a jump start on capturing this town. So the way capturing towns in this, you just show up and a certain amount, you can see the bottom left, a certain amount of enemies will spawn. Once that remaining count reaches 0, the town is capturable, and whoever has the most units in there by the end of that pretty much wins. So it's just like how many kill units fast and capture everything that you can. And to make it a little bit easier, especially for testing right now, the units, once they spawn in, if they're alive longer than, I think right now I've had 2 minutes for testing, they become visible on the map, so you can hunt them down. And I am going to go ahead and start hopefully clearing out this town. Now I'm not sure where they're going to spawn, so I have to be very careful. Okay, looks like the commander hasn't decided to do anything else yet. He's just kind of biding his time. Which is also another choice they can make is, should we wait? And whatever reason, I'm not sure why, he's just deciding that, now's a good time just to kind of wait. Maybe the AI thinks, well, I'm already sending units out and they're slowly making their way over. Because they don't have teleporting powers like me. He just kind of wants to wait and see. And you can see that these guys are also spawning to protect this grid here as well, so it's going to be a heavy fighting to get through all that shit. So they're going to capture this power and this town. Now can they do it with just 7 troops? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. But I saw a group down here that I'm going to see if I can ambush and see what VCOM does. I see them right now. Oh. I think... Oh, okay. I'd love to know how he saw me. That's funny. Wow, they're not too happy. Oh, there's one looking this way. Oh, I didn't see him. I'm trying to get to this house right here. Oh, shit. I didn't think he could shoot me from there. Well, that was bad. Oh no, I triggered it to. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and teleport back in there. Whoop, maybe not right there, maybe right here. Oh, they already gone. Where the heck did they go? There's one like right underneath this bridge still. Ah, there's the group. And into the bush there. Hit him. I hit him. He also hit me. Man, I'm just having a hard time. I'm actually surprised. I've heard a couple of these people. I'm just not killing. Man, I am way out of practice when it comes to ARM. What if I... Whoa! Well, okay, that grass is blocking my view. So getting me sighted in, so I'm going to try to move around to kind of get them to kind of lose sight of me. Oh man, I got caught by the bush. Well, I'm very bad at this game. Let me tell you how bad I am at actually playing it. Okay, maybe I should help our friends out here. Jeez, they're almost to the... Ah, man, our commander's really disappointed. So, I don't know if I want to sit here and play the whole thing. But, I don't know why they're taking so long. They gotta walk up this huge-ass mountain. But, oh, now you don't see me. Wow, I need to learn how to aim. Oh, he's so startled, I'm sorry. It's not really fair that I teleport right behind you like that. So, let's see. Well, there's only a couple remaining for this. Maybe we can capture the... I actually haven't tested capturing a grid square, so that's going to be an interesting thing. There's a guy coming my way. Okay, it's only 3 remaining. I'm going to go ahead and reload here. They are still trying to make it around the mountain. And they are just going slow. That was probably one of the worst spawns they could have had. So as I wait for the last 3 guys to get marked on the map so I can just hunt them down, I want to show you one of the FSM systems that I use for, well, if you haven't seen, I'll show you the one I use for VCOM AI. And then I'll show the one that I use for degeneration. So this is VCOM AI. You can see it's a huge branching thing that looks intimidating, but a lot of this is the same, it's just split up. If you're just an infantry, you do this side. If you're a team leader, you do this. If you're a squad leader, you do this. Now, I just zoom in a little bit more, you can see all the different checks and things that I do here. Garrison loiter, all these different kind of checks and on-off switches that you do with AI. Isn't that frickin' interesting? So it's just really cool. I really enjoy it. I'll show you the one for my degeneration mod that I think. Let's see. I'm a dev here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So here is my one for zombie behavior, or mutant behavior, which actually seems smaller than my VCOM AI stuff. You can see it can get pretty complicated where it starts here and then it kind of goes through all these different types of mutants that there are, it decides what they are, and kind of they go up and they decide they go to this move to state. Like there's a whole bunch of stages and conditions and things to check. That the more checks you do, the more dynamic and lifelike that they can feel, and more flexibility you really got. So they can be really, really nice and useful, and I actually use them for quite a bit. And oh, look at that, so quick to respond. And I even use them for simple things like, here's a very simple one if I need to despawn a vehicle. This is a for each, how to do a for each inside of FSM. And it just goes through all the vehicles and sees if they need to be despawned because they haven't been interacted with in X amount of time. You can do all sorts of cool things with them. What? Still alive? Jeez. Oh man. Oh! Ah! Okay. There's only 0 left in there that were left in the bank, so spawn the last 2 and give us the grid. So you can see how expanding would work. Those AI are finally making their way around the hill. So that is kind of roughly how this works, and you know, almost like I want to restart the whole thing just to show you more of an active AI commander. But you know, right now there's just not that many options for him to do. He's just waiting. That's the thing, is sometimes the best decision is to not make a decision, and it's just kind of waiting for the money to roll on and to, you know, just capture this town or capture that. So you know what, I think this video has gone on long enough, so thanks to everyone for watching, and please let me know if you have any more questions. Hopefully I can explain it. I kind of do this impromptu. I don't really write a script or anything for these, obviously. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to make a video about it. And take it easy.